Hi and hello, sports fans. Dave Dameshek here, and I want to tell you about a great new podcast called Outside the Box. If you're a maker, an innovator, or even just a consumer who wants a peek behind the curtain, could be steel. I don't know what kind of curtain it is. Either way, if you want to peek behind that curtain into some of the world's greatest organizations, you're going to love it. The latest episode, available now, features NFL commish Paul Tagliabue, the former commish, I should say, talking about the massive innovations both on the field and off that help football become America's most popular and beloved sport. He also talks about how the opportunities and challenges the league has faced are similar to those faced by businesses of all types. So go ahead, listen now, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And speaking of podcasts, let's get to the DDFP.
David. Football David.
The Dave Dameshek Football Program. Available on iTunes and at davedameshek.nfl.com. Now here's your host, Dave Dameshek.
Hi and hello and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome to the Dave Dameshek Football Program. I hope all's well wherever you are. I hope it's filled with your family, your loved ones, your friends, and most importantly, pie. Oh, no, not most importantly, stuffing. Then pie.
Stuffing.
Speaking of pie, stuffing's delicious. Pie.
Over the pie?
Pie off 6 coming at you. Depending on when you're listening to it, it's on Wednesday. Well, really, that's when it's released, no matter when you're listening to it. It is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Go back and listen to it. I hope, or maybe it's getting you ready to eat pie tomorrow if you're listening to it on Wednesday. I'm getting confused. I do know that Thanksgiving has at least 2 really good games and 3 football games in total to sit and watch.
That's amazing.
In the meantime, seated to my immediate left here, he is, everybody. I have much to be thankful for, and right at the top of the list is getting to kibitz about football and the game of life with this guy as often as I get to.
Right.
One of the best around, and I mean, I was going to say fashionable guys around, but then he's got this scarf thing on.
You ever looked at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah, but it's weird. No, yeah, I have looked at myself in the mirror.
I'm just asking.
See, now that's what they call throwing shade.
No, I ain't throwing shade.
It's Ike Taylor, everybody.
You finally get the introduction.
All right, I introduced you. I had things to promote. Enough. We don't have time for the whole thing, Ike, because we only have 5 minutes, and then Maurice Jones-Drew and Colleen Wolfe are going to be here.
6 minutes on the intro.
Well, I did. Well, you know what? I did what I did, and let's not live life in the rearview
We give the viewers
mirror.
what they're looking for, man.
What they're looking for? I mean, I assume they want to hear what my insights are.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's talk. What do you want to talk about, Ike? I wish you in advance of Thanksgiving a happy one. Your mom has already begun prepping a Cajun-style Thanksgiving, eh?
Correct. So mom is doing in New Orleans. I asked her to do dirty rice, fried turkey. Of course, I don't eat meat, but I'm going to go ahead and do the fried turkey.
Right.
The lobster casserole, the green bean casserole, the macaroni and cheese casserole, the cornbread that's super sweet. You got to go to the dentist the next day because she put a lot of sugar in there. All that good stuff going on. Pecan pie, sweet potato pie. Of course, I love my vanilla, just straight vanilla cakes. I'm going for all that. So, yeah, I can't wait to get to North Carolina to see my mom.
Well, enjoy it. I'm sure it'll be a great time. I'm sad that I'm not going to be in Pittsburgh, PA. Mo Dameshek whipping up her annual feast. I can't get out there with my sisters and all the
Are you cooking?
Nieces and nephews, everything. Am I cooking? No.
Yes.
No.
You eating?
I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna
tell.
eat a lot, and we ate a lot at Pie Off. It's already in the books. It's been recorded to history, so go listen to that.
Gotcha.
Sorry to have missed you, Ike. You should be even sorrier because I dare say it was the most delicious Pie Off ever, and certainly the most it was the most dramatic. Right? Is that fair to say? Anyway, let's talk about a little bit of football for 2 minutes here, and then we'll move on to Maurice and the Wolf.
Right.
I know. Again, I took too much time.
I get it.
Ike, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the rise of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you want to talk about what's going on at the top of the NFC? Because it's more top. The AFC is top-heavy. It's the Patriots, it's the Steelers, it's the Jags. And then there seem to be more Titanic teams. Okay. Who do you like there? The Eagles, the Saints with that big rally?
The Carolina Panthers.
Greg Olsen coming back? How about that team?
Carolina
think we're sleeping
Panthers,
on them.
People are definitely sleeping on them. It's a team that they're sleeping on too in the AFC, but I'm not gonna get too in depth. And you've been calling it for the past 3 weeks, and that's the LA Chargers. Watch out for the LA Chargers.
Last 3 weeks. I've been saying it since August. They're going to come back and win that division. They win in Big D.
My bad. August. You've been saying that for the longest. But I'm going to go ahead and stay in the NFC, man. I'm liking the Carolina Panthers. I think Cam is getting back to Cam, his old self. I think the coaching staff really understands in order for us to win games, Cam have to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right.
But Cam, please protect yourself when you're running the ball, and I think he's doing a good job. We're not talking about their defense, the Carolina Panthers defense. The Carolina Panthers have the number one defense. Since of last Sunday, they had the number one defense. Time will tell with the stats and what's going on for this week. But, man, they quietly just going under the radar. They get rid of Calvin Benjamin. Everybody flip out like, you know what, why y'all getting rid of one of y'all number one receivers? But then we forgot that they went to the Super Bowl without Calvin Benjamin, with Ted Ginn and company. Funches was just a baby. Jericho Cotchery, he was working the slot. So now you still have young guys at the wide receiver position. Funches is really stepping up in his role. He's becoming a number one.
It took him a couple of years. He didn't just immediately emerge as a star, but yes.
Becoming a number one receiver. Between Stewart and McCaffrey, they're finally learning how to use them too. I'm looking at them too. They might be the third best duo running backs, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe, but I do go back to what you said a minute ago. I just feel like, for all the hype around Christian McCaffrey, from the minute they drafted him, it was announced, well, finally now the Panthers will be able to tell Cam Newton, don't run the ball. We have somebody to do that for you. Listen, they tried it. They did try it.
You're right. They tried it, and it didn't work.
Cam must be, listen, if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. But that's the chance that you have to make a deep playoff run, is letting Cam do what no other quarterback, and that's not hyperbole, there's no quarterback in the NFL that can do the things that Cam Newton can do. You have to let him do it.
Not at all. I mean, if you just look at his mechanics, Cam mechanics, throwing the ball is horrible. But he's the only guy with that kind of talent who can stand flat-footed and throw a beeline ball to anybody he wants to. Only Cam can do that. Only Cam can run for 60, 70 yards. Only Cam can run over defenders. Only Cam is bigger than most defensive linemen / linebacker / corner / it's only a few guys on defense who's bigger than Cam. And they usually are two interior guys. Because your two outside linebackers, them guys ain't number 250, maybe 245. And, Cam is 260. I know he's listed at 245, but around the fall time, November, December, you add about 10 more pounds, so he like 260 legit. But Cam is just a double threat, man. The man can pass. He can extend plays. Triple threat. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. Like, this guy, he's really feeling himself. And I said all the time, like, the game in the NFL is fun when Cam is having fun. He's fun to watch.
Don't listen to the curmudgeons. And the same thing goes for all the serious football men out there. Listen, Baker Mayfield did what he did. The world didn't end. We're still sitting here.
He's fun. Speaking of Baker Mayfield,
I know he's your guy.
I love Baker Mayfield. He got a little Manziel in him, though. He do have a little Manziel in him. But, heck, are we talking about what he does?
You know who else does? Phillip Rivers has some of that sass, too.
No,
he wouldn't grab his crotch, but he still.
On the football field, there's no other quarterback in college football playing better than Baker Mayfield.
I still don't know which guy I would take out of that whole group, but I believe your track record for calling who's going to elevate best to the NFL. You're on a 3-year roll yourself there. All right, Ike, go eat some rolls, some pie, some stuffing, some lobster. Who eats lobster at Thanksgiving?
Casserole.
Fancy pants do. That's who. Ike Taylor and his
eat
scarf.
That dry turkey?
Can you imagine Ike Taylor rolling into Raleigh, North Carolina in his scarf and his lobster? What? Who's Mr. Look at the look he's giving me right now.
Just all I got to do is put my pinky up. I'm an Austin Power your butt.
What is that?
You really don't want none of me, Shaq. You really don't want none of me.
You think if it ever came to it, you would win? You think if it came to fisticuffs, you would take me?
Shaq, I would smash your head into the ground. Shaq, I would try to
Well,
kick your
I'm
head
not-
so deep into the ground.
You played pro football. I'm a pot-bellied Jew. I would hope you could do that.
No, ain't no.
I would hope it's better. I would hope it's not worth your time.
I would
to do
try
that.
my best to rearrange your furniture. I don't even want you to look. The
That's
same
all
as
I
me.
have, Ike. All I have are these rugged good looks. Don't take that away from me. All right. Have a great time in North
Appreciate you.
Carolina.
You too.
We'll see you on the other side, and we'll keep on kibitzing about the game of football and the game of life. The great Ike Taylor, everybody. Maurice and Colleen coming
Happy
up.
Thanksgiving.
Dave.
All right, we're still in Studio 66, but 24 is gone and 32 is here. And look who he brought with him. It's the Wolfe, Colleen Wolfe. And she's
What's
wearing
up?
a police T-shirt. I don't mean a like a police department one. No,
Right.
the band, the hit band, da-do-do-do, da-da-da-da. Dilly, dilly, dilly is all I want to say to you. How are you?
Oh,
And
I'm
happy
great. I'm
Thanksgiving.
great.
Is that where they
yes.
got dilly dilly from?
Is it?
No, I don't know.
Now-
The
now-
do-do-do,
now I'm
the
thinking-
da-da-da does not use the word, does not invoke
No.
dilly dilly. No, that's Ben Roethlisberger. How are you, the
I'm
Wolf?
great. I'm so excited for Thanksgiving.
I
cannot
imagine you
wait.
are. How? I mean, why
you
wouldn't a
cooking?
Philadelphia
What?
fan?
Are you cooking?
No, I'm eating. That's all. I mean, I wake up every day excited that there's a new day of eating in front of me.
Wait a minute. What are the plans? You're a football media power player now.
Yeah.
I assume you have someone coming in to cater a feast for you.
I'm going to my parents' house.
Oh, you're going to be in Philly.
Yeah.
Are you not going? Where are they playing? Is the game? Where's the game?
I'm flying. Well, I'm flying
they're not playing.
on Wednesday, so I can be home like with the fam.
Kamish
Thanksgiving
Goodell
Eve.
charters her a jet,
Right.
whatever at her
Well, I mean,
whim.
I've
that's
asked
the
for a
least- That's the least he
helicopter.
could ask for, right? Is John going?
He actually has to stay here. He's got to work. So
For Thanksgiving.
yeah. So we're bi-coastal on Thanksgiving.
That's
Has to work. It's NBA season. It's November. Nothing
Yeah.
important happens until February
Well,
or March
tell
at
that
the
to
earliest.
John.
All right. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Hey, you got to work.
Now let's say hello to the other guy I just mentioned here. Not that the Wolf is a guy, but here he is, everybody. Number 21. I mean 32 from the Jacksonville Jaguars. 21 from the UCLA Bruins. That's what it is. It's Maurice Jones-Drew, everybody.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Straight out of Oakland. That's where he's born and grown. Drafted by the Jaguar. Addicted to the end zone.
That's enough. The addicted to
good.
the end zone is my favorite part. Do
And
we
now-
want to hear a little bit of the Wolf? Did we hear?
Just
Go
the
ahead.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's all we need. That's all we need. It goes up
One
and
more
down. She's from
time. One more
Philadelphia.
time.
That's it.
Matter of fact, every time the Wolf makes a good point, I want to hear the howl.
Yes.
No question.
So
That's
have your
great.
finger at the ready for the one time that happens in the
Hey.
next half hour. See, I zinged you there.
Hey.
Speaking
There's
of
the
getting zinged, Ike Taylor, I don't know if you heard it there, but he just said that he could beat me up in a fight. What do you think?
I thought the last time we talked, he
said he
said
could
he
make
could
you-
make you cry.
Yeah, I know. Well, he could emotionally hurt me, but now he says he physically, if it ever came to it, he would rearrange my face.
Is that what he said?
I mean,
More or less, that's what he. I mean, he said that would
he's
be
never
his.
fought before though, so
Oh, that's
I
right.
You don't know. That's the.
but
Thank
it
you,
doesn't
Maurice.
matter. It doesn't matter if
You
if
don't
you've
know.
if you've never put your hands on anyone, then you don't know.
That's right.
But it's bad for you though, because you don't know what it takes to like. Once you get hit, like it's just like football. So I coached youth football, and we had a bunch of kids on our team this year, were first year football players, and it's tackle, and you know they look really good in flag football. But when we first started, they weren't used to contact, so they were like, I don't know if I want to go in
Yeah.
there. And as we got them conditioned for it, they started to play better.
We need to condition
You just need to
Shaq.
get hit in the face a couple times.
All right. Well, listen. First of all, let me say this: I am used to contact.
Oh my god.
Anyway, also, but the other thing is too, like I like where you started out there, Maurice, which is you don't know. I'm a wild card. For all Ike knows, he might start messing with me, and then he winds up, like, might wake up like 9 minutes later, like, what happened? Doing that finger thing, like doing that thing.
You want me to tell you what to do so you don't ever have to fight anybody? You want to know the funniest thing you can do? You just have to stand up, like you've seen the Karate Kid, right? You stand up and you
I think I've seen it once or twice.
that, no one will ever mess with you. I promise you. That's like the universal
Break out
thing,
the
like,
crane.
Yes.
Once you do it, they're like, whoa, hey, my bad, bro. Like I didn't know.
Yeah. That's
you don't have
great.
to ever know how to fight, but people won't fight you if you do that.
I would love to see this.
In a real fight.
If
love
anybody
it.
would have ever just do this, like, oh, you want something, just step back and do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, we saw what happened to Johnny and the rest of Cobra Kai when he did that. They were stunned.
That's
Stunned.
true.
And people still remember that. And so
I mean, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of Karate Kid analysis. I do plenty of that with Corolla on his show, but at about 198 times at least we've poured over the Karate Kid trilogy. But the thing that's unfair I feel bad for Johnny in that, because in the tournament, in the All Valley tournament, he hits Danielson and the ref keeps stepping in like, no, that's illegal contact. You can't do that to him. Then Danielson in the pivotal, like when it's about to be won, he does the crane thing and he kicks him in the face, and they're like, yeah, full point. Like Johnny,
Like, how
like,
is that?
what happened here,
Yeah.
ref? Tom Brady, it's like the Tom Brady rules. Did you see Khalil Mack fall into Tom Brady and they give him a 15-yard penalty? Like,
Yep.
I didn't do anything wrong. Certain guys get the breaks, and Danielson's
I
one
only
of them.
know the Karate Kid from with my man from Rush Hour and then Will Smith's son. That's the only Karate Kid I know.
Oh,
Really?
that hurts me.
That's the best one.
Come on,
I saw
Maurice.
that one late one night. Yeah.
It's the best one. It's the best one. He did a great job. What's his name? What's Will Smith's son's name?
Doesn't matter.
I can't.
Shame on you for acknowledging
Jaden,
existence.
yeah.
That Jaden sounds more like a karate name anyway. It's like
Yeah.
No, that's a terrible.
Check. Before we go on, I have to do this. So I was
What?
in Minneapolis for the Rams game, and on Saturday I went to a sports bar called City Works. Shout out to them, great people. Treated us well. I was there with our flight attendants who fly the Rams there, and a bunch of our broadcasting. We're having a great time. And this guy taps me on the shoulder. Now, no, I don't like people. I don't like other men touching me, but the tap was so nice, and he was just like, "Hey, man, like."
Okay.
He was like, I know that I've heard your voice before. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? You heard my voice. He listens to the podcast. And I'd like to give a shout out to Ken, Kustra, and Isaac and Noah. Isaac, I want to say, is 6 and Noah's 3.
Kustra.
They were at the bar with you.
Well, no, just the dad was. No. But yeah, but it was a family bar, though. But anyways, he's a Canadian, Wisconsin, or they are. He's Canadian. His wife is Wisconsin. And he's a Packers fan, but he was undercover, looking at the Vikings for the Packers. It was pretty awesome. We sat down, had a good conversation.
That's awesome.
To meet people that listen to the podcast is great.
Hey, Maurice, the Czech Republic knows no borders thanks to the likes of the Wolfe, you, Ike, and everybody else.
You got to say,
Spreading the
Handsome
good
Hank.
word.
Handsome Hank took you overseas.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah,
He
across
is a
the
legend
7
over there.
seas.
He's a legend over there.
It really is weird that Handsome is has such a large.
Has he been on the show lately or no?
No, he's been traveling around, but he is going to join us in just a few minutes.
Ooh.
Hey, about with the Packers here for Kustra, for the Kustra clan. Let's talk about this real quick here. I feel like that there are certain teams, as a for instance, when Tom Brady got hit in the knee, it occurred to me that I bet you could put Brian Hoyer in there, and with Belichick and the surrounding roster, I bet you they could at least get to the AFC Championship.
Not at all.
Really?
You don't think so?
The reason that year worked for them was because, remember, they had Randy Moss, they had Wes Welker, they had Stallworth, they had a really good defense at the time. And even though their defense is playing better, they're playing better because they're playing with the lead. And so now they, that's why if you ever watch them, they try to get the ball first, let Tom go down and score, then their defense can settle in a little bit. I think this year's a little bit different because you don't have those guys. Even though you have Rob Gronkowski, you have Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
We've seen Brian Hoyer mess some things up.
You can't do it with that defense that they have right now. You can't take Tom out of it.
Well,
and
by
have
the
that
way,
offensive
people keep
weapon.
talking about
Yeah.
that defense.
Well, it's
The
been good over
defense
the
has
last
been
6
shutting
games.
everybody down for
But it's
quite
easy
a
when
while
you're
now.
playing with a lead. It's easy to play defense with a lead. If you're going back and forth, it's hard to do that, especially in situations where teams like the Houston Texans, and I know it was week 2, they were scoring at will. And Deshaun Watson was playing at a very high level.
Either way, though, I hear you on that. But what I wanted to ask about is, do you feel as though, forget the Emperor for now, I feel like Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy suddenly have no clothes on them, right? I mean, take away Aaron Rodgers, they are nude all of a sudden. They are exposed. They have that roster can't win. I mean, isn't competitive?
No,
they can't score points against the Ravens.
Really bad.
It shows you how important Aaron Rodgers really is.
It's crazy.
Like, he can win because he can make every throw, and then the other thing is confidence too, right? So early on, guys didn't really know Brett Hundley. They didn't know how he was going to perform, so they were still confident. But and it's hard to say this, he just hasn't performed well. And so when your quarterback's not performing, when you're in a pass-happy offense, you've lost all your running backs.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They
Ty
just keep going
Montgomery's
through
gone,
running
Aaron
backs.
Jones is done, or I don't know if he's done, but he's out. And then you have Jamal Williams. You have one guy. Like, it's just they have to, do different.
Well, it is interesting, and we talk about the Jenga theory here, and we saw with Earl Thomas out, that Seahawks defense imploded last year. We see when Jordy Nelson was out 2 years ago, that Packers offense struggled mightily without him. Aaron Rodgers, even more than Tom Brady, I think we can say. My point with Brian Hoyer is, I think you take Aaron Rodgers out of that just is a nothing team.
Bucky Brooks, he's on Twitter, and I hope you guys follow him. And he does some of the greatest things on Twitter. He talks about teams not having a valuable backup quarterback, right? A quarterback that can come in and win. They just get these guys just to be back there, just to be guys, And they always say, like, I always thought, like, backups were insurance, especially at the quarterback position. You have to have a guy in insurance. Insurance is expensive. Right? But just in case something happens. Well, look, things are starting to happen now this year. We're seeing quarterbacks fall down. Tom Savage and Geico. Right? It ain't Farmers or Allstate or all.
None of that.
And a lot of these backups aren't. And so in these situations, these guys are getting hurt. And then you're having to go to this, jinky insurance that you have. And then guess what? Your season's over. And
Give me a guy who at least throws the defense off. If you have to throw the changeup. The guy who I'm thinking of is named Kaepernick. If you suddenly throw that in, now what? How do we prepare for this?
Yeah, what if
This
Tom
is
Brady
completely
goes down?
different.
Like,
at one point they didn't have a quarterback
No.
when Tom went down. But let me say
That's
this
just
though.
cocky.
I give credit to Bruce Arians because he won games with Drew Stanton. I get it was the Niners, but they still won a game. And
Absolutely
it's
right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then they took the Seahawks down to the wire with Drew Stanton. Just think about that. So, I mean, that's a guy that we didn't ever necessarily think Drew Stanton was going to be that good. But he's literally coached him to the point where he can win games and things were to happen. So,
and they have Blaine Gabbert too.
Blaine is out there slinging that thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think that's right. I think we've learned he is the personification. In the right system, a lot of quarterbacks will look very different. If you just shake things up for them a little bit. Meantime, they're Denver Broncos, and none of those guys are good in any
They just fired the OC.
I think Elway deserves a lot more scoring than what he's getting for what he's done. Wasting that defense.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
They have to be so frustrated.
He's for a quarterback, for this legendary quarterback, he's kind of wasted.
I don't even want to go through the draft. If you go through some draft picks that he had, the top 3 of the last couple of years,
really bad.
Listen. You let him off the hook because not
John
just because
Elway.
he's John Elway, but no, also I mean this is a year and a half ago they won the Super Bowl, so it's a little
but
bit
it
less.
wasn't because of offense. Though.
I know
that's
they
the
are
crazy thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's in spite of what he put into that offense, and now if Paxton Lynch, I think the salvation could be Paxton Lynch, but if he shows himself to be a bust, egads, you've just wasted perhaps the second half of this decade's best defense. All right, you know what? We talk about the Packers, and they're not going to win the NFC North, but two teams who are fighting it out neck and neck. Believe it or not, the Detroit Lions with a victory have a chance of stealing this North for all the stuff with the Vikings. Let's start it here with a special 3-game Turkey Day pick fest here. Let's get into it, and let's start with that one, probably the biggest of the day, the Wolf. Who you got? Vikings, Lions, choose.
I got the Vikings. I don't know what it is. I really love this Vikings team. And I think that they're going to be able to do it by running the ball. I mean, I know Case Keenum is doing a great job, but Latavius Murray, he's coming off a big game, and you can run on the Lions, and I think that's what's going to happen this week. Plus, that defense is balling.
Yeah, I saw that in person. And I thought the Rams played well against them, but that defense is the truth.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Detroit always beats the Vikings. They always have a chance.
Feels like they always win on Thanksgiving.
Hey, they've already beaten them once, and they did it in Minnesota. So if they can take care of the home game, like I say, here's what Vikings do after this one. They go at Atlanta and at Carolina.
Wow.
The Vikes feel-good story could end but before Christmas gets here.
I'm going with the Lions.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. You know what?
Blue.
I'm going to take the Lions, too.
All right.
I like the way Matt Stafford's throwing that
I'm
football.
ready to be the only one right.
Next up, here we go,
the lone
the Chargers,
That's
the
right.
Cowboys in Big D. I
Yes.
told you the Big D ain't getting a double-digit wins this year, and it would seem that I am going to be correct on that one. The Chargers not at 500 yet, but still a chance to steal the AFC West. How say you, Maurice?
I got to go with the Chargers. I said this once Zeke's suspension went through, the Cowboys aren't the same team. And people say it's Tyron Smith. Even with him there, they still can't run the ball for some reason. And they can't do play action pass, and that's where Dak is at his best. They haven't done that. Zeke is the issue. He's not there. I see them losing the rest of their games.
You're right about the play action. That's what Zeke gives you that Alfred Morris does not.
Yeah.
No, and
Look.
I think Tyron Smith, he said that he's expecting to play this week, which that's great for them.
Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa at 50%.
That's the thing. Like, he's not going to be 100% out there, and you have this pass rushing duo that's amazing right now. And plus, Sean Lee, he's still out. I think they had a scare with Anthony Hitchens. They thought maybe they would lose him, but I don't think he's out. I think he's going to be expected to play. So they'll probably be able to run the ball a little bit, the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers in this one.
It pains me that the Chargers have lost the games that they've lost, but they're still in contention.
Yeah.
And I'm not jumping off yet. My preseason prediction for the AFC West, the Chargers, I'm hanging my hat on it for another week here. They get it done.
Chiefs, and I'm a little upset about the way they're playing.
They beat Dallas this week. They still have a head-to-head with the Chiefs. They can still get this division.
Can we just real quick, is Jason Garrett safe in Dallas?
I always feel like he's safe. I don't know why.
I'm just asking.
Well, these injuries give him an
and the
excuse.
suspension.
But he's been there forever.
I agree.
I think that if Ezekiel Elliott was not suspended and they were playing this poorly, then he'd be in trouble.
Do you like the roller coaster? That's the question, because we talk about teams week to week going up and down. The Cowboys' seasons go up and down.
Yeah.
One year they go 13-3, the next they are irrelevant. Next year, I guess, means spike up, so you keep Jason Garrett for that one. Let's bring it on home with two of the Cowboys' NFC East foes, not the Eagles, the first place team that seems destined to be participating and perhaps even in Philadelphia come January. It's the Giants. It's the Skins. The Wolf choose.
I cannot trust the Giants even after
Let's
that
be
win
quick on
last
this
week.
one.
I know.
Let's
I'm taking the Redskins.
This
That's
is when
Kirk
everybody's
Cousins had
eating
one
the
of his
pie.
best games.
I'm gonna go with the Skins. I like Kurt.
The other two games are better, especially the Chargers are wearing their cool throwback
How did this get the last game? Like, how do you not move that?
It seemed good. What are you going to do?
I'm moving that. Like, you know what? We're
Not
gonna,
on a Thursday. You can't move.
We're going to flex this Thursday to a Sunday and bring one of those other teams in here and get it working.
What game would you bring to Thanksgiving?
How about Rams Saints?
That would be so good as the nightcap.
Oh, yeah. In L.A.? Oh, it'd be great.
Oh, can you make some
Can we
calls?
make that
It's
happen?
too late now. It's too late. You can't do nothing now.
I don't know if you have the juice to do that,
I
but
got
the Wolf, you do.
Maybe.
No, well, I'm working on the juice. I'm mixing it in there in the juicer.
Oh, I thought that you were talking about, Anyway, all right, so that's it for our quick little Turkey Day preview. Hey, go eat some pie and stuffing and some pie. All right, now we'll continue on there. We gave you our little quick picks on that one. Now, what do you think, EmmaVP? You want to get to the picks proper here? It's time for the Red Challenge Flag Picks.
Uh-oh.
Red Challenge Flag Picks.
Hey.
All right, the Wolf, you did it there. Dilly.
Watch out.
Dilly.
We're on air.
Hey, I don't care. I play by my own rules. I'm Eddie Spaghetti. You want to talk bad about Staten Island? I'm going to talk bad about
Staten Island?
Huh?
Have you ever been to Staten Island?
I have been.
What is it, like the suburb of Manhattan? That's what it is?
I guess so. I don't know. It was like a really
It stinks, huh?
it was a really long time ago, and it was late at night. I don't know.
Does it stink?
I can't remember anything, but I definitely can't remember that.
Let me tell you something. Spaghetti got upset with somebody. Who was it? Oh, it was the guy from Saturday Night Live, Pete Davidson.
Oh, no.
I guess
Oh, he's a funny dude. He's a funny dude.
he is funny, but he disparaged Staten Island, and Spaghetti was not happy about
He went on Twitter to talk about his feelings.
Oh, no.
EmmaVP, be a dear and dig up that tweet so we can read it. I think it's funny to read. You know what? You know how Kimmel does. You know how Kimmel does angry tweets.
Yeah.
I think our turn on it should be EmmaVP reading all the angry tweets, because it will soften them considerably.
Yes.
No question.
That's great.
Meantime, EmmaVP doing double duty while you're looking that one up. It's time to dig into the Red Challenge Flag Picks. This week with the TV Guide edition descriptions, you focused on family movies, eh?
I did.
Appropriate.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, EmmaVP.
Oh, thank you to you guys as well.
It's
All
great
right.
music. This is
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
EmmaVP stuck in dreary old Los Angeles. For the Thanksgiving. Doesn't get to-
I'll bring you back Wawa.
You know what
Oh,
you
thank
should
you.
do?
Yeah.
Come here on Thursday. They have the best spread ever.
I've
Really?
heard that.
The best spread from what I've seen and heard. I haven't tried it, but I heard it's.
Maurice, you're going to the East Bay?
I'm going home. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going home tonight.
By the way, this is an appropriate time to bring it up. Pie Off 6 coming at you on Wednesday. Make sure you drink it all in. Great stuff. I already mentioned it with Ike, but either way, Maurice, you were a no-show.
Yeah, it was on the day I'm not here.
I know, but for 3 years running now, maybe 4.
I wanted to bring
You
my
said your grandmother, you're flying her in to make her pie in Los Angeles and deliver it hot.
Exactly.
gotten it.
And guess what happened?
What happened?
I found out 3 days before it's supposed to happen, and she was in Atlanta, so it was nothing I can do. We were stuck.
Shoot.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
I missed
Wolf,
it. I
you
was
also,
bummed.
You also weren't here.
I know. I was flying. I was on a plane.
Flying.
Yeah.
You gotta tell us beforehand. Hey,
I would have much rather a pie than fly.
You know who did? You know what? He just walked in the door, so I see him coming through. Mark Brady is there.
Oh.
He assigned his wife to make a pie,
Ooh, I
and
bet
she
you
said,
it was
"I'm
good."
very busy with the children and my own life."
He doesn't care.
And he said, "No. Listen, I excuses are for losers. We need a pie."
Yeah. What kind of pie?
It was a good chocolate one. It was really.
Ooh.
Was a good, it was
There's
a-
no
It
leftovers
was
anywhere.
rich. It was creamy. It was very nice. Listen, that's just
Mark,
the
I hope she dropped a little bit of sweat in there because that's a little bit of love that you need in the pie.
A little bit of love.
It's a little bit of love that makes it all right.
Boy, it was. They really were some delicious pies this year. I mean, we've really built something special here.
Yeah.
I must be there next year.
Duping our coworkers into bringing in delicious pies just so that we can eat them, and then they compete.
It's the best scam going.
Competition breeds greatness.
Stupidest thing in the world. All right, listen to it because it's good fun. All right, EmmaVP. To the family movie descriptions, let's start it off with the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. So we have an airing of Finding Tori. When he finds out that his contractual brother Tori has run away, sweet but naive Carson drops everything to track him down, not realizing how this emotional decision negatively impacts the NFL game in which he's currently participating. Feeling like a fish out of water, Trubisky learns that it's okay to ask for help sometimes, especially when you're flailing around trying to flee from a flock of man-sized predatory birds.
This is America's team. If this
I
were
love it.
an annual award, by the way, isn't that a good idea? Let's do that. An annual award. America, you just don't get to be America's team forever.
Yes.
Just
Let's
one-
vote on it every year.
I'm all for that.
Maybe around Thanksgiving because we now have enough information.
No, you have to do it at around Christmas.
No, too late because then everybody knows who the number one seeds are, and then
That
you
doesn't
can
mean
be
it's
a front runner.
That doesn't mean it's America's team if there's a number one seed.
It could just be the
No, I'm
most
saying
likable.
Yeah,
Americans
We
sometimes
always
will be
love the
front.
underdog story.
Uh,
You see what I'm saying? It's
I think
We're not
you-
going to
I
be
think-
like, oh, the Patriots.
yeah, because that's going to be every year
wow,
until Tom
I mean,
retires.
listen, I think if you actually put
and
it,
Bill at the same time.
if you actually put it to a vote around Christmas time, you know who 90% would vote for?
Oh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, because everybody wants to see
No.
the Patriots
Can I
vanquished.
throw this at you now?
That's what people want to see. Is they want to see the Patriots vanquished.
we talked earlier, and I told him if the Jags played in the AFC North, we'd go undefeated.
What an
We'd-
absurd-
Whoa.
What an
every year
absurd
we'd-
Whoa.
Just how it happens. I mean, look at the.
Uh-oh.
I'm not even a stat guy. Look at the numbers. We blow them out.
What a
It's so-
ridiculous
and then they
assertion.
send their
Yes.
assassin AJ Green to take out our best corner.
Oh.
Like it's unbelievable that the North,
Yes.
the
Yes,
North
it's
against
an
everyone.
Assassin.
It's unbelievable.
Our division assassin.
AJ
And by the way,
Green
if
takes out our guy.
do you
Yeah.
really think if the AFC North had an assassin, it would be anyone other than Vontez Burfict?
It'd be AJ. Oh, he
That's a great point.
Well, he tried to jump in too, but it was too late. You
I
already
see.
sent the number one guy at us.
All right.
I'm
by the way,
taking the Eagles.
Yeah.
by the way, you did pick the Chiefs to beat the
I did.
Patriots to start the season, so there is some merit in what Maurice Jones-Drew has to say. But to the here and now, the Wolf. They are your Eagles. They are the number one seed right here and now
Over
in
everything.
the NFC. Yeah, they're the best team in football by record. Bears, Eagles, choose.
Not even difficult, this one. The Eagles.
I don't know why Maurice threw a flag at me, but explain yourself.
The only
What are you
thing-
feeling? Tell me.
Do you
Tell
know
me
what
where
I'm-
your
you know what I'm
heart is
feeling?
right now.
The only thing I'm worried about is the kicker. I don't know.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He
'Cause
got
I
a
had him on my-
concussion,
on
Jake
my
Elliott.
fantasy team. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they had a linebacker out there kicking. And but you know what? They went
did
for
well. He
every
did well.
2-point conversion, and look, we know that they can do that pretty good. Yeah, so they ran the ball great. No rusher had over 100 yards, but everybody was involved.
You know, legit question, Maurice. Why is Jason Peters' absence not hurting them more, at least to this point?
They always want to run the ball, right? And so they've been wanting to run the ball for a long time now. Finally, they have a reason to run the ball because with Jason Peters, you didn't have to. You could throw the ball.
Yeah.
You knew that's how it was going to be protected. But now you have a backup in. And sometimes when you lose your starting left tackle, you have to run the ball. And so that's what they're doing. And then Carson Wentz is doing a great job of look how he just stands in the pocket. They're sliding protection. They're helping the guy with chips. But also he'll use his legs and run as well. And this is a team, I tell you this all the time, Shek. You know, there was a thing on I was watching the other day. It was the Peter Pan story with Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. Remember, and he was like the older guy, and the kids were like, "You gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe you can fly, and you gotta use your imagination." That's what they're doing here. They believe, and belief is strong.
Did you dream that you told me about that? Because I don't remember having a conversation about Peter Pan, and I think I would remember Maurice Jones-Drew.
I was telling you about belief. Like,
I see.
Right.
Okay.
The
right.
confidence, what it does to you.
It's really
amazing.
weird watching this team. Like, John and I were watching the other night, and we were both like, the Eagles, they're good? Are they good?
That's
Are
what
they
I want to
this
know.
good?
Don't
Are
check,
you
don't
believing
check.
it?
Because you know what? I've been hurt. I've been
fans,
hurt so many
I know.
times. I'm
Every
broken.
relationship is
I just
different.
don't know if I can trust yet. And I keep watching and I keep
Lions
wanting
fans,
to.
Vikings fans,
It's scary. I'm
Rams
scared.
fans.
No, the Rams are good. We're good to go. I just want to tell you this.
They haven't been
Every
good. That's why I
year is
bring them
different,
up.
and every year is a different relationship. You can't bring
Right.
last year's issues into this year.
That's true.
You have to start
Says the
off
guy
with-
who just 2 minutes ago announced that the Jags would win the AFC North for all of time.
Yeah,
They're good 1 year.
This year we're the best this year. What do you want from me?
All right, well, we'll see in January if they're the
AFC
best.
North, bum division.
Let me tell you,
Bum division.
It's going to have two teams in the AFC playoffs.
Well,
How
it's not,
bum
it's,
is it?
It's not because of that. It's because the Ravens have the easiest schedule known to mankind.
Let's take a break from the hardcore pro football talk, shall we? And instead talk about Net 10 Wireless for a moment if we can. I get a choice of flexible plans and great nationwide coverage on one of America's largest and most dependable networks. And like I said earlier, if you're not a fan of wires, good, because there aren't any wires here. This is Net 10 Wireless. You get it? Less is more when you're talking about wires, and Net 10 Wireless is where it's at. Fall is my favorite time of the year because there's always a game to watch, and thanks to Net 10 Wireless, I always have access to the latest scores and highlights right on my smartphone. And there's never been a better time to switch to Net 10 Wireless. Again, wires, less. But when you don't have them, it's more. It's weird. It's one of those paradoxes in life. Because for a limited time, you can get a double data for life on unlimited plans starting now as low as $35. You can pick the phone and plan that fits your needs. Now with the added lifetime value of double data, no contracts or hidden fees. Visit net10wireless.com to reference the terms and restrictions of service and get more information on double data for life today. It's a game changer. Let me spell it out for you. NET10, not TEN, you understand. NET10 wireless. If you don't know how to spell wireless, I don't know what to tell you. Crack a book, why don't you? I'm not here to take care of all your whims and needs. When you need your mom, call her at home. Why don't you? It's the holiday season after all. Net10wireless.com. All right. Well, listen, I don't even know how to respond to nonsense, so let's move on to the next game then. It's the Buffalo Bills. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Wait a minute. Before we get to that, late break. Yeah. He brought a pie.
Is this the pie off?
No, you missed the pie off.
What?
What is this? What kind of pie is
This
this?
isn't
brought
the
a
pie off.
pie.
I thought I was having
kind
a
of pie
pie
is
off.
That pie come
Oh,
from?
my goodness.
I missed.
I baked
You
it myself.
You did not.
What do you mean? I
He'd
did
absolutely
not?
baked that.
I baked it myself
What
last
kind of
night
pie
because
is
I was
this?
told today was the pie off.
Excellent.
What
What is it?
this?
It's apple.
Oh, this is great.
It's a straight up apple.
Really?
Oh.
Well,
What do
you know I don't
mean?
like apple pie. You know that's not my thing. Now I'm not
Hey,
excited
it's not about
anymore.
you,
I'm
Dave.
taking a piece.
It's
I
about
want you to go
everyone.
back and
Warm it
cut
up.
out my
Another plate.
excitement
Does
for
someone have
Handsome
another
Hanks.
plate?
Yeah.
Handsome
Well, they
Hank.
can eat their pie.
Yep. No, you have, Maurice. I kind of
Wonderful.
mostly made it for you because it's vegan apple pie.
Thank you.
It's vegan?
It's
It is vegan.
I had
What
to
does that
make it
mean?
because I knew. Well, it's got apples in.
Well, what's
No cheese
interesting,
or animal products. Oh,
I hope
right
there's
there.
no cheese in there.
Handsome,
It's
Handsome,
apple pie. They're all vegan.
we did Handsome Hank. We completed the pie off a couple of days ago.
So
but
I'm
of
late.
course, We haven't.
Yeah.
But
You missed it.
the world has yet to hear
Oh, my God.
It's good.
I'm definitely.
Handsome makes
Oh
delicious.
my God!
He won the first
Is
one.
it really good?
Oh my God!
Really? That good?
Oh my God!
He's
Oh,
not a
this-
vegan anymore.
See?
Maurice.
No.
This isn't vegan. This is vegan.
Oh, it is.
It's vegan.
It's all vegan.
Straight vegan.
Handsome Hank.
All right. Sorry.
you were-
So I'm not
It's
on
like a
time.
piece
No,
of
you
crust.
weren't at the pie off earlier this week or last week because you were in Mexico City
That-
for the Patriots
right.
and Raiders game.
Ooh, that
But,
was so much fun.
But there's a lot of drama around Handsome Hank. He's one of the many storylines that
As
will
always.
fascinate and intrigue you.
Right.
Make sure you tune in for that. Handsome, how was it in Mexico
It was
City?
wonderful. It was amazing.
People, I mean, Tony Romo and Jim Nance spoke of it as
This
though
pie is so
it was
good.
as good as a Super Bowl. And the video that they shared with the fans out and about in Mexico City experiencing football seemed to support that. It was great, huh?
It was cool. It was really cool.
What do you think of
The
Belichick, what he
atmosphere
said?
is incredible. You know what?
What a creep.
What
I
a
mean,
creep.
why
Like,
does he have
first
to
of
be
all,
like
that's
Daniel
not. I
Day
think he
Lewis?
was trying to be funny, which is not something he's
no.
known for at all, like in any sense. So, but to be talking about something that was a natural disaster that happened in very recent memory as a kind of, oh, we're lucky we didn't all perish in an earthquake seems to be a little bit.
That's
you know,
very
like,
funny stuff.
callous, I think, is the right word for that.
Well, I also feel
Belichick
like
being callous? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Right.
I also feel like you know, just belly aching about this was bad. This
Yeah.
is a lot for us to overcome. We're exhausted as an organization. There were a lot of
That's what
things.
he said.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, went on and on about there was so much we had to do to prepare
Why is he
for
worried?
this.
He's about to retire in 2 years.
Listen,
Is that right?
this is
When
this is
Tom retired,
When Tom retires, you think he's going to get out when the going's still good?
you better.
Yeah.
this is the equivalent.
Meyer.
Of,
Otherwise, he might get shown up.
You better
I have a
put Urban
question
Meyer
about
in
that.
Florida.
Can you pass me that pie, Maurice?
It's
Toss
so
it.
good.
Toss
It's-
him the pie. The Handsome. Congratulations on
That would
your
have won
nice
in
pie.
my book
You
Thank
really
you very
mean
much,
that?
Maurice. And you know what? You know what? That's what counts most to me.
because I'm
What
allergic
Maurice
to
thinks.
chocolate, so I can't
Right.
even chocolate
I can't
pie.
believe that. I woke up and had chocolate ice cream for breakfast.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
such a
healthy
good idea.
Wait a second. You
People-
had chocolate
why-
ice
why
cream
is
for
it
breakfast?
Today, yeah.
Why is
We
it
don't have any food in our
taboo
house. The
to
only
eat,
thing we have is beer and
ice cream at breakfast time? Who says that?
That's a heck of a household.
The wolf.
That's a heck of a household.
The wolf ate chocolate ice cream for breakfast.
I did.
and that and only that. It wasn't like
Straight
that
out of
was
the carton in the
Oh, the
kitchen with my
old-fashioned
bags like ready to go. And I was like, let me just get some of this.
Yes, do it again.
Kinda
Do it. One more
weird.
time. One more time. That was perfect timing.
That's it. That's
kind of home is
tasty.
Gonzo making for you. You're the
Exactly.
breadwinner.
We
He's
have
got to
literally-
treat you better than that.
We have literally fallen off
Yeah.
the rails.
I wanted to make a good analogy about Bill Belichick belly aching about, I don't know why why we have to deal as an organization with spreading the good word about our sport to a fan base, to an expanding fan base around the globe. Why do I just want to focus on football? Hey, I don't know if you heard, but it's this is a for-profit corporation. They're trying to spread the word, as I say, across the 7 seas. You don't get the bellyache. Oh, I just want. Well, then go be a high school football coach. Same goes for Daniel Day-Lewis. I like when the actors bellyache about.
Wait a second.
how does what happened?
How did we
telling
get
you why.
here?
I'm telling you why. This
Okay,
is a good
sorry, go.
analogy. Daniel Day-Lewis is one of these people who's like, I just want to focus on the craft of
Who is that?
Who's Daniel Day-Lewis?
I don't even know who that is.
He's
I mean,
an
he's-
actor.
He's an actor. But he's not. I mean, it's a strange. I want to see where
There
this
will
is going,
be
but-
blood. Did you see There Will Be Blood?
No.
I want to drink your milkshake.
No.
What else has he been? Oh,
The
you definitely
Mohicans?
saw
Wasn't
Streets in New York.
Was
Really?
he not in the Last of the Mohicans?
Yes, Last of the Mohicans.
Nope.
All right.
Trying to think of other movies Maurice definitely hasn't seen.
This is a fascinating sidebar. Are the movies Maurice hasn't sseen? You didn't see really Gangs of New York, not Streets of New York. Anyway, but the analogy is this: Daniel Day-Lewis always thought, I want to focus on the craft of acting.
dude, right?
That's all I care about. Is becoming a character and representing his emotions for people. I don't want the trappings of celebrity.
You need-
well, that's what you sign. You're making movies. You gotta.
Some of
If you're a
them, yeah.
movie star, you gotta. That's what happens. Is you become a celebrity. I'm sorry, you don't get to just do community theater, man. What do you want me to tell you?
Go do plays.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying to Belichick. That's a perfect analogy, handsome.
It
For all
seemed
your
like it was
cynicism,
awesome
I
in
made it.
Mexico.
I'm not. Yeah, you got there in the end.
Thank you.
I mean, it wasn't a great analogy,
Who you
but it
picking?
was fine.
Eagles, Bears.
Eagles, please.
Handsome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
mean, that
picking-
wasn't difficult.
Are you picking to be a traitor, or are you going to embrace the American holiday of Thanksgiving?
I'm embracing it.
Is that true?
You never do Thanksgiving? Oh, because they
I'm not
left you.
from here.
They left
We're
you.
like, I didn't have anything to
So
give
you don't
thanks
partake?
for.
What do you do?
But now I'm going to.
He doesn't celebrate July 4th. He
No,
works.
definitely don't.
He
July 4th,
Really?
I double down. I like to do a full shift, 2 shifts.
So you're still mad.
Come in at 6, leave at 10.
You're still mad about that, huh?
Yep.
I respect it.
He's
So what do you
embarrassed. He's
normally
red
do
in the
on
face.
Thanksgiving?
On well, I've always worked here on Thanksgiving,
Oh.
so
Your
that's
kids are
not so
American,
bad.
right?
But this time I'm going to go. My kids are. I have 2 American kids, 1 English kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
The house is divided then.
Yeah, the house is divided. Yeah.
And they make the oldest they make him talk in an English accent.
Yeah, at all
It's like,
times.
That's,
Right? Does he have an English accent?
that's not right.
Of course.
What about the other two? No.
No, they're Americans. They came fully packed with the American accent.
Really?
Wow.
Is that for real?
It's awesome.
Damn.
No, do they all have an English accent? No.
His lovely boy, they're lovely children, and he thinks that he believes that I played in the NFL.
That's
No.
He really does.
That's you see, you lie long enough, people start to believe you.
That's
Right.
exactly
Gotta be
right.
careful.
Yes,
You
I don't
like
care.
to children, they'll believe anything.
This generation is lost to me, but the next generation, they're all going to think I'm one of the 2 or 3 greatest football players of all time. All right, EmmaVP, let's get back to it then.
Sorry for interrupting everyone.
Bills, Chiefs. Handsome Hank. Oh, no, first of all, you tell us about it, EmmaVP.
All right, so we have an airing of McCoy's story. After a rather inanimate showing last week, McCoy and the Bills suddenly come to life as they recognize their future is in grave danger. Kareem Hunt gets left behind and must escape the destructive clutches of an AFC neighbor boy named Lorenzo Alexander. Knowing Andy has a shiny new toy ready to take his place, Alex Smith tries his very best to prove he too deserves love.
So we're not gonna talk about the elephant in the room.
No, we're
That
going to
story.
talk about it not in on the Bills sideline. How about that?
We're not going to talk about
Let's-
Nathan Peterman.
Right, who's
destroying-
EmmaVP's being
Emma, I
cute
thought
with
that
her-
was amazing.
That was great.
The really we should be like, Sean McDermott made a horrible decision, and now he has to pay for it because now they're out of the playoffs, and now he's going to try to bring Tyrod back
It's
in
like
to
the
save his
nightmare
life.
before.
You know what?
Yeah.
The Bills remind when you talk about the Buffalo Bills, when you think about them over the last 20 years or so and their relative ineptitude most seasons, you go back to Wade Phillips, and was that 99? I think is
Yeah.
what it was when 99.
Oh,
when they
that's
bench,
number 3.
They bench a red hot Doug Flutie in favor of Rob Johnson.
And then all of a sudden they go and they.
That was even later in the season as well, wasn't it?
If I
Didn't
remember
the
it
Giants
correctly,
do it to Kurt Warner?
I think Rob Johnson played 1 game
yeah.
at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe, and they said, let's just stick with him. Now, there are success stories on either side of this. There are 2 guys who decided to go with the kid late in the season, and it worked out. And
What
then there
story? Late in the season.
Well, Kaepernick worked out when the Chiefs.
But
when
remember,
the,
he got
Niners
knocked out, and Kaepernick was hot. So it would have happened if they would have. Remember, Alex Smith got a concussion. Kaepernick came on this run, and they were like, "We can't take Kaepernick out."
Well,
It was the other way around.
Funnily
But
enough,
you-
this game might be the next time. If the Chiefs lose this game
might be
against
it.
the Bills, that might be the next time a young
Alex
kid
Smith
gets
may
to
be
play at the end
Alex
of the
Smith
season.
may be in Jacksonville. If that.
Well, on the digital wall of fame alongside Maurice Jones-Drew is Jeff Schwartz, and he's got the inside info from his brother Mitchell Schwartz over there playing O-line for those Chiefs, and he swears up and down that there is no chance. He says 0% chance that Patrick Mahomes takes over.
That's
fellas.
literally that's what I was.
Well, there you have
I was
it.
in Chiefs camp, and I asked Andy Reid, I asked Eric Bieniemy, I asked a couple players, "What's the deal?" This is off at camera. Like, what's the deal? And they were like, "He's not ready. He needs
that was
3
in
years.
camp.
He needs 3 years.
3 years.
Because
They-
he's coming from a system.
Schwartz says he just cannot. That he has no ability
my
to read
God.
an NFL defense. at this point.
Because you have to remember, they're coming from these offenses that are just. And you have to understand. People say, "Well, what about Deshaun Watson?" They changed. Remember, Houston changed their offense for Deshaun Watson. They started running more of those spread read option plays, and they changed. They really simplified a lot of things for him. Andy Reid can't do that. First of all, to call a play in Andy Reid's system is like a paragraph long. And I can throw something out there for you that is probably similar to
Do
what
it
he would
now.
Okay, he would come out with flex right, F left, or flex right, flex right, F left,
F left, F you.
right, F left. Let's say he says 300 jet spacing Y out. I mean that's hard to say.
I think I have long hypothesized that NFL coaches and quarterbacks do that just to show off. That's all just
Really?
nonsense. That doesn't mean anything to anybody,
Right.
and
No,
it just
it
is to
actually
throw
means-
us
It's like the
off.
signs in baseball.
Right.
You're just like doing a bunch of stuff.
Well, there's one indicator in the sign that tells
Right.
you to, I don't watch baseball, but I know that.
Yeah.
But no, but that's literally one play. And then that play may change depending on the coverage that you get. So you may have to check out of that and be like, oh, no, we're going to do this play now. He has to have a lot. He doesn't understand that because in college what they do now, they just tell everyone, all right, this guy's going to do this guy's going to do that, and they're going to tell the quarterback where to throw the ball.
What was
And
the
then he
Travis
throws it.
Kelsey play call?
Oh, when he did it? Oh, that was a double pass.
How about the hose on Travis
He was a
Kelsey, though?
quarterback,
Boy,
I
he
thought.
can whip
I thought
it.
he used to be a quarterback. But anyways, I'm gonna take the Chiefs because I think they're gonna bounce back, and I don't.
That's not how we
And
do
I don't know
things.
I don't even know what Sean McDermott's gonna do. Like I watched the interview yesterday, and he literally started. He was like, the kid made some good plays out there, and I was like, well, he threw 9 passes that weren't intercepted.
Right.
That's
That
great.
was awful.
Phenomenal.
But
first of all, on a human level, I felt bad for Nate Peterman. And not just because he went to Pitt. I feel bad.
did
I
put
mean,
this one-
what an imagine that poor kid. How's he going to come back from this? It's hard to fathom. I get if you're the Bills and you know that Tyrod Taylor is not going to be on your roster next year, which is weird that you wouldn't entertain at least the possibility of Tyrod Taylor, given the state of quarterbacks in 2017. That's weird by itself. But okay, we're not going to re-sign Tyrod Taylor, so we want to get a look at the kid. All right, do it in a couple of weeks, but you're in playoff contention right now. What are you doing? You don't want to
Well, and
if they
against
win
the
that game
Chargers,
against
sense.
of
you
all
beat the
teams
Chargers you're in
against the Chargers, like
Right.
that's going to be a disaster anyway. Whoever the quarterback.
they could have been
throw him
6
out
and
there with
4
those
right
pass
now.
rushers?
Let me say this though, and at the end of the day, they said they benched Tyrod because he didn't give him the best chance to win. Understand if that's the way you feel about it, that's awesome. But who on this defense is going to get benched? Because they're obviously not giving you the best chance to win either. I mean, since they traded Marcel Darius, this defense in the last 3 games have given up over 130 points. They've given up like 600-700 yards rushing, and they've just been dominated.
I appreciate as a fan, and I know in the short term it would be weird to if you're a Bills fan, and into October once again they were relevant and everything else and getting excited. I would prefer as a fan, not with the Steelers, but I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. They have on occasion announced like we're not in contention this year. We're just building for the future. We hope you'll join us for the ride. The Lakers did that a couple of years ago. I'd rather hear that than this nonsense. Like this is the best chance to win. Nate Peterman is not giving you a better chance to win in Los Angeles against the Chargers than Tyrod Taylor is. That's an impossible. So don't lie to me.
And if he did, then why pull him in the first half?
That's right.
Let
And
him
by the
go out there
way,
and finish the game.
one more thing, Maurice, about that. What would you do if it were me and Sean McDermott came to me and said, hey, kid's struggling out there, need you to get your helmet, get in there, Tyrod? My answer would be, what? No, you wanted to see the superstar. You wanted to get a good look at him. Go ahead there, coach. You got 25 more minutes of game time. Why don't you drink it all in? And then come back to your pal TT next week if you want to get another look, right?
Tyrod is a better man than most people because
He
in
is.
that situation where it's been publicly saying that they're not going to bring you back.
Yeah, he's out. I mean,
That's been
gone.
publicly said. We don't have any more interest in this guy. He's a better man than most people. I think in my situation, I would have went to the quarterback coach and I'd have been like, "What are we doing here?" That'd have been my if I was Tyrod, like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to do? Let me know so I at least can go forward. Don't play this game like we want to win, and then so you tell me I don't give us the best chance to win. This happens, and now you want me to go back in and try to save the day. Like that doesn't work.
Legitimately, I would have before the game, I would have said, don't have me travel out to Los Angeles. Give me my dignity. Don't dress me for the game because I'm not going in.
Did that ever
I
happen
would
in
get
your
in front of
career, Maurice? Did anyone ever say like when they got demoted from a starting
I was
job?
in Oakland, and I remember we were playing Kansas City, and this was like the first time in my career where I played like garbage time. And then so after the game, I went to the coach and I was like, "Listen, coach, like you guys got to have more respect for me and what I've done in this league than to put me out here in garbage time because you don't want these other guys to get hurt. Because if I get hurt, I'm gonna have a real problem with this." I was like, I've done everything you guys have asked. I've been a mentor. I've done all these things. Don't throw me out there in garbage time. So we had a nice conversation about it. And he was like, well, we were just trying to figure things out. And I'm like, well, figure them out with I practice all week and then I don't play. Dude, I'm 30 years old. I don't play all game. And then you put me out there in the fourth quarter and it's freezing outside. Do you think my muscles are ready to go and ready to work, And so we were playing Denver and it had that situation that happened again. And he was like, don't worry about it. I get what you're saying. And at that time, I knew I was done. I knew my career in Oakland, at least, was over, and I didn't know I was going to retire at that time until the offseason. But I was, you can have respect for players in that situation and treat them like human beings.
Yeah.
I mean,
To
for
put me
what
back in-
Tyrod Taylor's done and the way he
And
sort
it's-
of bridged
And
you
it's
into
like, and they benched him last year too. I mean, he's been through this over and over with
and
this
it doesn't work.
organization.
And it doesn't work. And so I sit here and laugh because and I know Tyrod, and like I said, Tyrod's a completely different person than most of us. Like most guys would be like, no, you're crazy. But he understands that in this league, and he said it in the article, black quarterbacks, and people are going to say, oh, you're bringing the race into it. Look at it throughout this league. Joe Flacco still has a job. Blake Bortles is as good as he played for 2 weeks. Last week in Cleveland, almost lost the game for him. Still has a job, right? There's quarterbacks throughout this whole league that still have jobs who've played horrible.
That reminds me, the Wolfe. Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback of the Jaguars. Are they your AFC favorite to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Handsome.
Favorite, not favorite. But they're a
This is my
top
about
3
Tyrod.
team.
That defense.
Well, they're
yeah.
already a top 3 team.
Listen, Tyrod doesn't turn the ball over. 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. Like, what else do you want from him?
The Steelers in the first half last week did not tell me anything. They didn't have any rhythm whatsoever. It wasn't until the
I
second
didn't
half
ask
of that
for
game.
you to take pot
Oh,
shots
okay, I'm
at the
just
black
saying.
and gold. Don't fist bump that. Why did that come up?
I'm sorry, I went on a little tangent, but I just feel like
No, I love
he
it.
doesn't get the time and the time and effort that you put into Brock Osweiler.
Right.
Well, I mean,
That
I
you
think
put into Trevor Siemian.
Right.
He doesn't get that time.
this
and
is
effort
what
in
we talk
Buffalo.
about
It's
all the
crazy.
time. Of course, the NFL involves human beings, and the idea that you can treat people like that and have that work and have people free agents. By the way, Buffalo, talk about reality. Free agents are not excited about moving to upstate New York compared to moving to some other places. So you cannot then on top of it be like, yeah, we're going to treat you like a commodity here.
Well,
you
now,
can't
how about-
do it.
Let me say this: look at all the people they let go and traded over last year's team that are excelling on other. Ronald Darby,
Yep.
comes back off the ankle, is playing well.
Looking good, played
Robert
every
Woods,
snap.
Sammy Watkins are playing better, right? Marcel Darris is down in Jacksonville going crazy. Like you just can't keep getting rid of people and not
Reggie
bringing people back.
Ragland's playing more.
Yeah,
Right.
Reggie
Yeah.
Ragland, like all these dudes that you had on your roster that are playing well for other teams. Like what are you doing? Do you think it's easy just to acquire talent? Do you think it's easy to get guys just to play football?
My
right,
theory is
go
that in the AFC East, those 3 teams behind the Patriots every week look up and go like, wow, the Jets are doing really badly now. We need to do something to get worse. The Dolphins are doing terrible. We need to do something to get worse. And they're just in an arms race
It's
to
outrageous.
lose talent
Yeah.
as quickly as they can.
What deal with the devil and or the football gods Tom Brady made to just for the entirety of his career to almost never be challenged in his own division and therefore almost always be kissed into one of the top 2 spots in the AFC is just outrageous. All right, anybody just to cut to the chase here, we don't have to do a deep dive. Anybody taking the Bills? Nobody. Chiefs get off the schneid. It's not an easy one because they have not been playing well themselves, but I think we all agree the Chiefs. All right, next up, EmmaVP. Tell us about I don't know what's happening back there, EmmaVP. I don't
Sounds
know,
like
but
an argument.
tell us. Is that?
Sounds like Eddie's
People
getting.
fighting back
I think
there?
Eddie's getting angry.
Settle
with something.
down, Eddie.
Calm
Spaghetti.
down
He didn't
back
say
there.
anything
What's
about.
happening?
Is she talking bad about any of the 5 boroughs? What happened?
That's what happened.
Staten Island.
EmmaVP, you're gonna get up close and familiar with the Hudson River. You keep talking that kind of smack. You know what I mean? The bottom of it is what I'm talking about. Cement boots.
Why do they do that? And then
Cement
they give
boots.
you like the hint to like not say it, and then they say actually what they mean. Right? Does that like right? And I was like, hey man, you keep bothering me, you're gonna get the old one too. And that's 2 punches to the face. I know what that means, bro. I'm good.
Thanks for explaining yourself.
If you have to explain your threat, then
Yeah.
let's get a new threat. All right, EmmaVP, why don't you tell us about a big one? It's the Saints, it's the Rams.
All right, we have an airing of Drewtopia. Drew Brees, a celestial human in a class of his own, leaves his quaint southern quarters for the big city, eager to prove to the entire animal kingdom that he can contain this week's bunch of sheepish bad guys. As times suddenly become divisive in their community, 2 Rams, Goff and Gurley, concoct a fast and loose plan which will allow them to revert to how things were just a mere week ago.
All right,
I like this one. And
This ball game?
I like the story because it has a great ending, I feel like.
the Drewtopia. Well, now that you're big on book reading these days, we got to get Maurice's book.
Book club.
We gotta do
doing
a
a
book
book
club.
club.
Can I join up, please?
Thanks for listening to the show.
I did
Handsome.
listen to the show last week. Maurice was talking about whether it should be a self-help book or not.
I know.
and
Well,
you
what do you
said no
think?
because you need no help, apparently.
That's
Oh.
right. Well, I just don't believe
Too
in
good for
self-help
that.
books.
I
What
never know.
self-help books?
Right.
What's somebody going to tell me?
I kind of agree.
I mean, you know who I'm going to go with, but I like the story, the whole story behind it, but Rams all day with me.
Maurice, why? It's like you haven't been in on the Red Challenge flag before. This is not the.
Well, he
process.
hasn't, I don't think. It's
But
been
I
a long
can't,
time.
I can't answer it, though, because, I work for the Rams. What am I going to say? I'm not going to say the Saints.
But that's not how. Okay, should we
I literally
explain?
He knows.
I bench
we do it
players.
every week.
We
You
do
know
it
how
every week.
Works.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to let Handsome do the honors.
Go ahead.
Handsome. Saints, Rams.
Uh-oh.
I know I'm catching one from him. I'm taking the Saints.
All right, you got that one. Catch that. You got that.
The Wolf. You're not going to throw it, huh?
I'm taking the Saints.
Then don't throw it.
Then you don't
Give
throw
me that. Give me that.
I'm
give me
gonna
that back.
take-
I'm gonna throw
You
it.
only throw it.
You know what? I haven't
Can I?
considered
Can I?
it
I just
until-
You can
want-
throw
I
it.
just
You can
want
throw a
to
flag
throw
at
it.
me if that's what you want. Here, have mine as well.
Okay, all right. I can't
Throw the
catch.
flags at me.
You know what? Happy Thanksgiving. You need a napkin. To
You
wipe
missed.
Yeah.
I did miss.
Shaq, let's
but
go.
I'm taking the Rams at home. The
Yeah?
Saints have to travel across the country. Their bellies are full of pie and turkey.
They don't have
and
to travel that far, though.
It's not that far, and they won't have
3-hour
eaten
flight.
that much pie and turkey. They're not like you, Dave.
It's a
Come on, don't judge everyone by your.
First, the Wolf goes after the Steelers, and now you go
Yeah.
after my pot belly. I don't know what's happened. Happy
Maybe that should be
holidays
the book.
indeed. Maurice, what was the name of that self-help book that you got going there?
Oh, yeah, it's a couple of them.
All right. Explain. Maurice, you go. I'm getting confused. So the Wolf and Handsome have the Saints. You explain why you're taking the Rams.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, this is going to be a tough game for them. They have to stop the run. The Rams have struggled stopping the run, so they know going into this game you got to stop the run. But I feel like the Rams, their offense, last week was their first time in a playoff atmosphere, and they learned from that, and they kind of got exposed in a couple things. Their guys were taking their shots away. I feel like Jared, though, he learned, and each week they learn something different. Each week is a different puzzle piece. But I don't know what the Saints are going to do. I mean, I'm waiting to see if Marshawn Lattimore is going to be back. Right, he was banged up this week. If he's not back, you allow a team like this to score 30 points, it's going to be tough to beat.
What's crazy is that Defensive Player of the Year
Should be
talk
him.
is surrounding the rookie now, Marshawn
Yeah.
Lattimore.
I mean,
that's how significant he's been.
What he was able to do
I still
there-
go Aaron Donald, by the way.
Well, but and I think that's the difference. One of the things that Case Keenum was able to do, and that the Vikings are able to do, they're able to elude Aaron Donald, who had a ton of pressure. They just never could get sacks. And so Drew Brees is very athletic, and he can do those things. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of the way because these dudes, they're coming.
It worries me that they lost Alex Okafor, though.
Yeah.
The Saints did.
Yeah, there's some guys that are, they're going to be down. They're both banged up, though, because the Rams lost a bunch of corners.
Two corners.
Yeah, 2 corners. So
That's
Wolf.
one of the reasons.
Why? So yeah, go ahead.
That's one of the reasons why I'm taking the Saints. I don't know what's going on with the two corners
they're
that they
supposed to
lost.
be back this week, but they were out for the game.
But that on top of the fact that they're not good against the run, and that's obviously the Saints' strength right now. And we saw for the first time Drew Brees actually pull out the heroics and still throw. He can still do that. So they can still get you from multiple different places. But, I think that you saw what Latavius Murray was able to do to the Rams last week.
But he didn't. But see, that's the thing, though. The stats. Latavius had 14 carries for 40-something yards going into the fourth quarter, and then had a big 55-yard run. And that was after they got worn down. The offense was going 3 and out a ton. And this defense isn't built to be on the field all day. No defense is. And so the Vikings were literally eking out first downs as the game was going on. They started wearing this defense down. I don't know if that'll work again this week, and it's at home. It's just different.
Yeah.
Flying to Minnesota was a tough flight. It's a different flight. It's a different air, different atmosphere. A lot of these guys have never been. They've never been. I want to say only 3 guys on this Rams roster have only been in that playoff atmosphere before: Andrew Whitworth, Kayvon Webster, and.
Is it weird,
Sullivan,
by the way,
I
when
think
you
so.
talk about
Yeah.
different atmosphere? I know that around Thanksgiving it's supposed to be 90-ish in Los Angeles. Let's say that heat persists through Sunday. Is that weird at this time of the year for a team like the Saints?
Not the Saints, because the Saints, it's always
play
humid
in
down
muggy
there.
and all that.
It's humid down there, but it'll be different for a team like Philly that comes. it'll be different for a team like the Vikings to come down here.
I would think late in the year to suddenly get dropped into sweltering heat would be a rough.
But
rough
isn't it like? Wouldn't it be better to do that than be dropped into like freezing cold?
No, because you don't have to hydrate as much in the freezing cold.
I want to show you guys something here. Every week, our pal Dennis Padua puts together some terrific.
Look at
little
Aaron
drawings
Donald.
Wow.
and he represents the literal mascot matchup here. If a ram were to fight a saint, Handsome Hank, and you have some experience with this, of course, you may recall that Maurice.
A ram to the.
I've got to put that back out, by the way, to remind everybody. Maurice was terrified of a baby ram.
I wasn't terrified of a baby ram.
days.
I just don't do animals because you don't know what they're thinking. And he was little, and Jack is over here trying to mess with me.
Right, and he was in the green.
And he
never
was
been in the
smallest
green room before.
In the whole
trying to
you
mess
don't know.
with you.
You put a ram in a green room. They've never seen a green room.
And he,
I was
know
trying
what's
to
gonna happen.
I was
Then
trying to
had Nate
introduce
Burleson
Maurice.
pinching me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost lost my cool in there.
Handsome.
Poor ram was paraded around the whole place.
He was running around the doors to get away from it. Handsome was once mauled by a ram.
Butted.
Running through a field in
I
England.
don't want to be butted.
Wait, nah, that's not
a true story.
In the
I
butt.
got butted in the butt by a ram.
Butted
Really?
by
It
the
hurts.
horns
You know,
of a ram.
It's a surprise
You're lucky-
for you.
you're
when
lucky
you
Running
get-
away?
It's like
They're
he
dead.
blindsided me. That guy, they creep up. They're quiet. Rams are.
They are.
Yep.
I watched
Wow.
National Geographic.
Well,
Yep.
I mean that makes me worried for the Saints then.
Right.
The
Well, and a
the
saint. What's a
scenario.
saint got
Handsome,
to do
right. Who's-
outside
who
of
wins that
outside of
fight?
calling a higher power? The ram every time.
Yeah, but
A
a
ram-
saint can perform a
you know,
miracle.
That's
Yeah,
what
but
he
they
ain't
have
performing
to,
a
like-
miracle on no ram.
Right.
Why not?
Saints don't
But
do
a
me.
miracle, I feel like, takes a while to get done. You'll be
Oh,
like,
you've
okay,
seen
I need
it.
to
You've seen
plan
it.
a miracle. Then you've got to be
Okay.
like, call the higher power to do the miracle. That ram be on you like that.
And you know
Hey.
what? I like a cowboy or a Steeler or a Packer, any human Buccaneer. Like you're gonna kill a Saint? All right. Well, I think you've just given yourself a first class ticket to
I don't
not
think
hang out
Ram-
with
I don't
Saints.
think Rams care about that stuff.
Rams
They're
don't.
okay.
They're
care.
bad. They're the bad boys of the animal kingdom.
You're right. I think the Ram wouldn't have any compunction with
Right.
hitting Mr. Saintly in the butt.
Did you feel the
Right.
horns on that ram that
Yep.
was in there?
Oh
How
my
hard
god.
those?
I felt them. I felt them on my butt,
Maurice.
Maurice.
I bet you it hurt too.
Oh
Yeah, it
man,
did.
and yeah, because those must have been sharp.
Well, no, they don't. They don't use the pointy bit. They use the
The
ramming.
ram.
Ram. That's how they got their name,
Yeah.
Ram.
They
Rams
used
don't.
the top-
right?
You never
Point
seen
Don't
the
they
doesn't
have
mean
a
anything.
point
You
at
never,
the end?
yeah, but you never seen rams go head up. It's like the most
Yeah.
violent collision, but they use
Helmet
that,
free.
Yeah, they use that the horn part takes all the pressure, so they don't get concussions because they kind of get
That
thrown
point,
throughout.
but the Wolf makes a good point about the point. The point that not that somehow that you don't know that the point has no relevance in a Ram fight. Rams butting each other is weird, the Wolf.
Right.
But it is weird. Why is it so sharp and pointy?
It's not
it has
that
no
sharp.
use.
It's not that sharp.
But he
It's
just
not?
did a great
No,
job.
they
of
just
showing-
come to an end there,
Yeah.
but it's not like a shot. They don't like
There's
go
a
out and
YouTube
sharpen
video,
their own horns.
Is a guy he like talks over animals like fighting humans and things like that. And there was a ram like going after this group of people, and this lady like tried to stop and like talk to the ram. And the ram just, and he was like, "Take that!" And I was
Boy.
like, "Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want a ram to hit me." any
Ram
kind of way."
fights are the best. Go on YouTube, the Wolf. You
Oh,
love
yeah.
them. They're great.
Really?
They run
I
into
had
each
no
other.
idea.
They just keep going on and on.
All right.
So you guys all know about this.
Let's
Ram
bring
fight.
it on
Who
home.
doesn't Google
Great.
YouTube Ram
The meat
fights when they're
packers
bored?
versus the steel workers. That's a discussion for another day. I'll give you the steel worker. They're working in
Right.
200-degree heat.
Right,
in
the
the
other guys are
furnaces.
just like
Make-
hammering
They
the
don't-
top
they only last
on
like
meat.
40 years though.
My grandfather. Yeah.
How old was he?
The late great Mike Zubasic, Poppy. He was he worked in the steel mills, made the steel,
Wow.
was a part of forging the steel that took down the Nazi scourge in WW2. I'll take your thanks offline.
Thank you, Shaq.
Tell us about it. Well, I mean, listen, I got some of that blood in me. You know?
Yeah, you're a hard worker too, Dave.
Okay.
You make a good point. Your dig makes a good point there.
Yeah.
Handsome.
Yeah.
How ashamed he must be.
Yeah.
How ashamed. I toiled
I toiled in the
mill.
heat,
Yeah.
hammering at steel with my bare hands while
What are you
my
doing?
grandson, 2 generations later, sort of sits around,
What kind
gets
of life
pepper,
have you
gets
carved?
pepper on the back of his head to cover the bald spot, eats pie once a year.
What kind of life? This is what I
Right.
did.
This is what I worked for.
I'm sorry.
Secured his
Wow.
freedom.
Poppy.
Sorry.
Tell us about, but you know what? I know would be excited to watch the Packers coming in to
Oh,
play
yeah, he would.
our Pittsburgh Steelers. I wish I could gather around with the family. Uncle Mike, Uncle Scott, my old man, Amy, all of us would get together, watch the Steelers play, go to Three Rivers or watch it on the TV. Either way, it was a gay time. EmmaVP, tell us about the Packers and Steelers this
All
time.
right, we have an airing of Juju Manji. After a fortuitous roll-the-dice celebration, Juju and his ragtag gang of receivers trigger the reemergence of a young-at-heart curmudgeon called Ben, ecstatic to finally be unstuck. In order to free the old guy from his troubling situation for good, the Steelers' offense must win the game, counting on DeCastro to halt stampeding Giants and Bell to shake off some pests that escaped from a land called Wisconsin.
That's very good, Emma.
I love it.
Excellent
You
stuff.
So
want to know
clever.
you want to know what's funny? That Juju Smith-Schuster has taken over the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the big name of the Pittsburgh Steelers now.
Such a personality.
I
He
think
is
if
the
you
big name
if
of the
you
Pittsburgh
if you had to make your list as a pro football fan 2017 of the things you're
He's number
thankful
one.
for, I think you have to say Juju's in the top 5.
Oh, he's
I mean,
number
like,
one. I'm thankful that he got his bike back,
yeah.
and then I'm also thankful that he got his driver's license. How about that?
The way his way is so charming. I mean, and I'm not casting aspersions necessarily on Martavis Bryant, but you kind of do have that goofus and gallant, if you will, kind of thing in the receiving core of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Martavis belly aching after coming back. Oh, I'm not getting the ball enough, and then Juju just happy to be a part of the team, and such unreserved glee, to be succeeding in one of the more difficult professions in the 21st century. We don't need to break this one down too much. I hope Brett
I
Hundley
hope
against
not. No flags needed.
We're not even going to throw a flag here.
No.
Good. Then I want to ask about this.
That was
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love
got
for you to do
him.
it. I dare you to do
You
it.
see how he stopped? He was
Yeah.
ready to go. He has his arguments ready to go.
In its tracks.
He was ready. It was all good.
What was I going to ask you about the Packers and Steelers here? Like I say, yeah, handsome. We were talking earlier. I think it's McCarthy and Ted Thompson a little exposed here. Aaron,
Right.
You take one player out of the mix and you just completely go to
But
trash.
remember, though, they've been exposed for a while because that defense has been.
Yeah, Dom Capers is still how does he last? How does he last after
They
this
got
season?
Pictures. They got pictures.
They got pictures?
Something.
There must be something, right?
We
Yeah.
have pictures of Dom Capers, yeah.
he got
Well,
pictures.
God.
without his wig on.
has a wig?
He
wears a wig?
Oh, Maurice, come on.
Does he wear a wig? Really?
I don't
Oh
know.
my God,
I
wait,
suspect he might.
As someone
Hold
who covers up the flesh yarmulke, as I do, I'm familiar when other people are cheating a little bit there, and Maurice, you shouldn't need that. Doesn't take expert level knowledge on this.
I
to
don't
know
know.
Dom Capers is doing something funny upstairs.
There's something
Let me
happening
see.
up
Let me
there.
see.
I don't know what he's doing.
I typed in Dom Capers wig, and there's many.
He has a wig.
Look at you. Look at the haired people
Look
laughing.
at that.
Look at how the haired people all laugh at us. I feel your pain, Dom. I, for one, feel your pain. All right,
Would
listen.
you ever wear a wig? Would you
Yeah,
stoop
he
that
would.
low?
Yeah, he
Like,
would. If he put
you
pepper
would
in
do.
there, he would.
Because you're very vain
No, I
about
am
your hair,
vain.
especially.
No, I know, and I feel like I don't want to be a hypocrite. And I look at the people who have the Botox, and I think, like, do you think anybody doesn't know?
Right.
Like, everybody clearly
Your
you have
face
big
isn't
puffy
moving.
cheeks.
You're right.
Too much. You know what you should do, Shaq?
What?
You should grow out all your beard instead of shaving here. Just take it, the little hairs, and have them put it there. And
That's
Oh
not a
yeah,
bad
that's a
idea.
good idea. You can get that
Well,
done.
here's what I've thought
Really?
about is
Oh, yeah.
what if I got a
I'm not gonna say that.
Interesting.
if
I'm
I
not gonna
got
say that.
the hair plugs, people have said, "Oh, you want to just get the
Yeah,
plugs
just
on
get
the
the
on the
plugs.
back of your head."
What's his
Now,
name? What's the
I
guy's name?
fortunately have
Tom Brady?
No, he got it too. But was it the Urlacher
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that was bad.
or the Dion? Because Dion's hair is coming in nice now. He can brush that. thing.
well, but yeah, if you do it in the front,
Well, he
I'm not
didn't say that.
ailed by the receding hairline. Mine is the flesh yarmulke, which is the better of the two. If you have to choose, I would say I have the Manu Ginobili.
But Manu's is now it spreads this
Yeah.
way, and
Yeah,
that's
well,
not good because then you just have a layer.
It's gonna get
That's the point.
Taking over.
If I got hair plugs, that's what I've said to people. If I did that, yes, it would fill it in for a while.
Yeah, you'd be
but then the
chasing it.
flesh yarmulke would suddenly there would be a flesh moat. You know, like I would have a hair island.
Ew.
I'd have a hair island with a flesh moat around it, and it would just get bigger and bigger.
Right.
You know,
You
that
just
wouldn't
have to
be a
keep
good.
putting plugs in that thing.
Actually, that'd be kind of a neat look. Actually,
Yeah, it would.
look like a.
It'd be
halo.
new.
Be like a halo.
Yeah. But you got to look out for Rams at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Halo.
It's the
Same
Saints.
thing.
Come on, all right.
It's all come
catch
full
up.
circle here. Circle reminds me of pie. Pie
Yeah.
off 6 coming at you. Handsome, tardy, or early, depending on where you are in the space-time continuum.
I'm confused.
Either way, check out the Pie Off 6. Maurice, have a good time with the family up in the East Bay. Again, shout out to the Kustra family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isaac
Ken.
and Noah.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Ken, thanks
Yeah.
for listening to the DDFP. The Wolf, have a great time with the family back in
Thank you.
Philadelphia. Handsome, have a great time with your gang. I assume
Big celebration.
here in LA, right?
I am. They're actually in the UK at the moment.
Are you
so
gonna deep
I'm by
fry a bird?
myself. I'm not going to deep fry a bird. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Why not?
It's delicious.
Well, I've never done it before, and I don't have a
Make
bird
sure it's not
or a
frozen.
deep fryer.
Thin slice of Hank's pie.
Yeah.
I'm almost ready to wrap it up, but
not
EmmaVP
quite.
EmmaVP got a little presumptuous with the play out music there. Now you can hit it there to everybody behind the glass and everybody beyond the walls of Studio 66. Happy Thanksgiving.
And
I
to
hope
you, Dave.
I hope
Yeah.
you get to sit around and talk about football and pie with people you enjoy, like I've gotten to do this week and every week at NFL Media on the Dave Dameshek football program. Check out the Wolf coming up
Later.
this weekend. She's working this weekend. Good morning football.
Hey.
It's like heaven.